Did you hear? Did you hear? Another psychic medium dropped. Mom, no, you don't get it. Another psychic medium just dropped. We have to go. Another psychic medium just dropped. Hello friends, my name is PigCake. I'm a professional virgin. What that means is that I do magic tricks. Now, as somebody that does magic tricks, I'm particularly qualified to look at psychics because they are also doing magic tricks. So today what I thought I'd do is that I would look at the latest psychic, Matt Fraser. Now you see this type of person come through a lot. There's always a distinctive feature that all these psychics tend to have. It's kind of a weird thing. The last one we looked at was Tyler Henry. They seem to have something in common. You could kind of imply where I'm going here, but it seems to be a trend among psychics that they all happen to be white. Ha! White guys. Did you think I was going to say something else?
Yes.
Now, every couple years, a young, trendy, up-and-coming person decides to take on the moniker of psychic. And the reason for that is because psychics are still a billion-dollar-a-year industry. People still believe. They still get their cards read. They still go to palm readers. And because of that, a lot of networks take advantage whenever an up-and-coming actor comes along, such as Matt Fraser. They say, hey, man, you're kind of cute. Let's give you a television show on the E! Network and have every single crazy cat mom believe that you could talk to their dead relative. It's always the same type of person. It's like this weird archetype of an individual that takes on the moniker of psychic medium or America's next top psychic. And in this case, we happen to be looking at one generic default white dude and Matt Fraser. Now, there are a lot of different types of psychics, people that specialize in certain things. The one that I happen to just have a little bit of a distaste for in my mouth is mediums. What a medium is someone that could apparently talk to a loved one that has passed on. Someone that could communicate with the dead. Now, you can imagine the reason why this would be a trendy form of psychic phenomenon is because, well, we're always curious as to what happens when we pass away. And to have somebody that comes in dressed in a gold suit off of his, I don't know, probably a Yaris, and tell you that he could actually speak to your deceased mother, well, why not believe the guy? And they always have little trendy vernacular. They have trendy little words they use. In this case, this guy likes to refer to the ones that have passed on as souls.
Couple souls that are trying to get my attention. First of all, I have your grandmother here that's passed. That's on the other side.
Oh, this soul is right here with me. He's telling me that, oh, you should just move on with your life and stop thinking about him. And now you should have the ability to go on ahead and explore bigger and better things in your life than to worry about his passing. What a coincidence that these spirits and these souls never have anything specific to say. It's always generic blabble. It's never, hey man, remember that time when we were at the thing and then we did a double team on that one and then you said, haha, this is really weird. And I said, no, you're making it weird. Remember that? It's never that. Now, as you can see, he has hundreds of videos doing the exact same thing where he's talking to people on webcam remotely about their deceased loved ones, about things that these people are trying to communicate with them about. And as you can see from here, he has relatively packed shows of people that are getting taken advantage of. Now, there are lots of arguments to be made against psychics. There's also a lot of arguments to be made for psychics that you tend to hear by people that believe. Now, I have to tread cautiously here because I don't want to get sued and I also don't have a lot of money. However, I'm not there. I can't tell you if Matt Fraser is a scam. What I can tell you is that I believe that Matt Fraser is most likely a scam. The same arguments are made every single time by people that tend to believe, which is you don't know. What he's doing is real. How could you explain that he knew that that particular person died because they got struck by lightning? I can't. I can't explain that. And the reason for that is because I wasn't there. I wasn't a part of the editing process or the shooting of the actual video itself. I don't have access to the raw files. I can't even see if certain parts were taken out of context or if maybe you decided to add a certain part of a reading that you decided to put in the beginning as opposed to the end to make it seem like maybe you got knowledge before you should have. I can't see any of that. So I can't tell you 100% that what he's doing is not psychic phenomenon. But what I can tell you is that more likely than not, he's a fraud. Occam's razor, my friend, usually the simplest solution is the right answer. Does this skinny, weird, pipe-armed individual have the ability somehow to traverse space and time and be able to talk to your deceased loved one, defying all known laws of religion, physics, biology, or is he lying? I know what I think. As you can see from the comments, people still believe feverishly into what he's doing. These comments are made by people that defend him and would believe every single word he says. Now, I can tell you from experience in watching these psychics work that they tend to start very generic and then work their way into specific people. So in a large group of individuals, they might say, hey, I feel like somewhere over here just recently had a loved one pass away. It was something with the heart, something with the chest. They had a hard time breathing. If this is you, please stand up. Now, assuming that this individual is one that attended the show, that implies a lot of things. First of all, that implies that the person believes. Secondly, it also means that because they attended the show, they're also financially complicit in the actual belief itself. Meaning that their belief is so strong that they're willing to spend money to actually attend one of these shows. And that in the carny business is what we call a mark. 90% of the work is already done for you. All you have to do is just push them a little bit and you're gonna get the reaction that you want. So working on that previous example that I just gave you for this particular individual that had a loved one that passed away with something with the chest, something about breathing. Guess what? That's everyone. That's absolutely everyone that passes away. What's to say that this individual didn't happen to fill out a card earlier on in the show? Just a simple questionnaire where they're asked, hey, who would you like to communicate with today? What's their name? Where are they from? How did they pass away? Seems to be common practice in a lot of these shows, but even if they don't use that, you could just come in cold. You could just talk to this individual and say, hey, this person, this was an unexpected death. This was something that you really didn't see coming, and it really took the family by surprise. That phrase sounds a little bit specific, right? But really, if you think about it, not really. To a believer, they might look at that particular phrasing and go, whoa, how did you know that? Yeah, the family thought this was completely out of the left field. They were healthy the day before, then suddenly the next day they're dead. Again, that's mostly everyone. Unless they had a crippling disease that slowly but surely chipped away at their life. But there's a lot of things you could play on in this scenario, especially with someone that's already committed to belief. Now, what I've described to you is a practice known as cold reading, which is what a lot of these psychic mediums do. Because of the advance of technology, this is very easy to hide with video editing. So all you have to do is go through your process, chop off the misses, and then emphasize the hits. And guess what? You look like you're, well, Matt Fraser. Here in this particular interview, he says another phrase which a lot of psychics like to repeat, which is, I love working with skeptics.
I love when people walk in and they're skeptics and they don't believe and they're like, no, there's no way. But then they walk away forever changed. I mean, I love that part of my job. I see it happen again and again and again.
Now, the truth of the matter is that they don't, because if they were engaged with a real skeptic, they would never show that footage. Their skeptic is a different breed. The skeptic that these psychics are usually referring to are people that go to the show, that have paid a ticket, and have some sort of vague skepticism as to what this person is doing. But typically these people tend to believe in psychics. These people tend to believe in the esoteric. And really, when you think about it, don't tend to really be skeptics. A real skeptic is an individual like me that's aware of all the techniques and tactics that you use in order to take advantage of grieving people. Read me, buddy. And unfortunately, there's no winning or convincing anybody that tends to believe in psychics. They're people that have committed to a certain way of life that while it might be following a fraud, unfortunately, it's for good reasons. A lot of these people, again, have lost loved ones. They're people that want desperately to communicate with someone one last time. And then you have, of course, a market for that where you have an individual just skirt in a Ford hybrid vehicle and say, hey, I could do that. I could facilitate this communication between you and your loved one. And you would imagine that with technology being as prevalent as it is, that people would stop believing in this sort of stuff because information is readily available. You see magicians all the time replicate this and even add to it. And yet there are people that still believe in psychic phenomena such as mediumship. So no matter how many videos are made, no matter how much is revealed as to how they actually work, well, people are still going to believe. But in this particular case, Matt Fraser is just another one of these psychic individuals that, well, is taking advantage of grieving people, and it's disgusting. And this is coming from me, a professional virgin magician. I'm the lowest on the totem pole. I'm doing fake magic tricks and then telling them that I'm doing fake magic tricks. These right here are my playing cards, the missing piece deck of cards. The campaign is live on Kickstarter right now. It's a project that, well, it's been a long time coming, and it's finally here. So if you want to support the campaign, it's 54% funded at the time of this airing. And I believe there's still 2.5 weeks left. So go ahead and consider if you like my work and maybe you want to get a deck of cards. Some advice at the end of the video. Boy, I like to improv these from time to time. Oh, right here, coffee. I love coffee. I'm a huge fan. This is something I've been doing recently, which is pouring a little bit of sea salt in the coffee. I like to make the coffee and then put some milk that Coke makes. Fairlife. Fairlife. Why? Because you got some protein in that. And the calories are very low, especially if you get the no-fat version. You put that in there. You put a little bit of salt on the coffee, and believe it or not, it's going to enhance the flavor. It's a little life hack that takes advantage of your taste buds. So that's my life hack for this particular video. And also shower. If you watch videos like this, typically you're one that enjoys magic and psychic phenomenon. And I would say you are not one that's prone to remembering the shower. So
I see you again, when 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 I see you again.